I will maintain by all the means in my power
the honor and the noble traditions of the medical profession.
Hippocrates, the father of medicine. Hippocrates, philosopher, scientist, author, doctor, one of the greatest in a galaxy of great minds of the ancient Greek world. Known as the father of medicine, Hippocrates single-handedly revolutionized healthcare practices and established the primary foundation for modern-day medical practices. As the first physician known to mankind, he pioneered the secularization of medicine and combined this approach with a humanistic and ethical perspective that was focused on patient individuality. His leadership and teachings inspired others to continue the pursuit of better medical practices and an improved quality of life. Hippocrates' legend has forever transformed the field of medicine, as his fundamental principles and doctrine of medical ethics are still utilized by medical professionals throughout the world today. In the year 460 BC, on the Greek island of Kos, Hippocrates, son of Paraxtheia and Herculades, was born. As a child, his family's vast wealth allowed him to benefit from an exemplary education. At the end of his preparatory education, Hippocrates was inspired by his father to pursue and study medicine. Thus, at a very young age, he began to study with his father as well as Herodicus, another distinguished physician. From his training, Hippocrates gained the skills and expertise necessary to heal others, such as the king of Macedonia, whom he famously treated for tuberculosis. As Hippocrates continued to gain more expertise in the medical field, he began to develop his own beliefs on healthcare issues. Using his leadership skills, he taught his pupils that medicine must be treated in a precise, rational manner. Throughout the course of history, medicine had not always been treated as a scientific practice. In fact, prior to the Hippocratic era, popular beliefs suggested that certain deities inflicted illnesses on sinners as punishment for transgressions. Thus, they sought to cure through acts of morality that would appease the gods, and instead of visiting doctors, the afflicted would focus on praying to the spirits for a cure. Furthermore, the doctor had both the power to heal and the power to kill. As a result, there was no established moral code that the doctors abided by, and many took advantage of their patients. Due to the superstitious nature of healthcare practices at the time, professions in medicine were generally viewed as lower-class careers for the people who lacked the intellect necessary to become philosophers or playwrights. Not one to blindly follow the established norm, Hippocrates made it his mission to improve the current state of medicine. Hippocrates established and led the rational school of medicine based on the thought that there were no divine intervention in disease. Ailments were not directly attributable to the supernatural, but rather could be explained logically. By establishing concrete facts as the basis for medical knowledge, Hippocrates was able to free medicine from the shackles of magic, superstition, and the supernatural. According to him, people call disease divine because they do not understand it. But if we call divine all things we do not understand, then divine things will be endless. Furthermore, he disagreed with the concepts taught in the Synadian school, countering that the human body functioned as one unified organism, and must be treated in health and disease as one coherent, integrated whole. In diagnosis, not only the patient's subjective symptoms, but also the objective signs of the disease must be considered to arrive at an accurate assessment of what was going on. Hippocrates took his band of renegade physicians with him to the island of Kos. There they set about to revolutionize the art of medicine and put its theory and practice on a truer, sounder footing. As the founding father of the rational school of medicine, Hippocrates refused to employ any aid to diagnosis beyond his own powers of observation and logical reasoning. Furthermore, he was the first physician to systematically classify diseases, founding the disciplines of etiology and pathology. Through his work, Hippocrates was able to create guidelines for the diagnosis and treatment of certain diseases. Hippocrates established the basics of clinical medicine as it is practiced even today. He introduced numerous medical terms universally used by physicians, including symptoms, diagnosis, therapy, and trauma. The practices known for revolutionizing ancient medicine that are attributed to Hippocrates are recorded within a book of writings named the Hippocratic Corpus. The collection of texts known today as the oldest writings of medicine in existence takes the form of around 60 separate books, the styles of which differ widely throughout the anthology. Collected together in Alexandria during the 3rd century BCE, the corpus quickly became the standard reference for medical students throughout the Western world, with many of its teachings used well into the 19th century. Historians believe that the books within the Hippocratic corpus were not the sole work of their namesake, but rather were a consolidation of the work of several physicians, the disciples of Hippocrates, inspired by his teachings. Whether Hippocrates was one man or several, the works he created became a milestone in the transformation of medical practices, and the influence Hippocratic medicine has had upon the practice and development of medical science is unparalleled. Possibly the most famous part of the corpus, and certainly one of the most historically influential, is the oath, a scripture that has provided ethical guidelines to doctors for many centuries, from antiquity to the present day. Among other things, the oath details the code of patients' rights to privacy, asks the physician to pledge to lead an honorable personal and professional life, and requires that he or she prescribe treatments only for curative purposes. The oath contained a sacred vow with similar ethical rules regarding proper medical conduct. Roman physician Scrobius Largus, the first ancient author to mention the oath, noted that Hippocratic medicine was exclusively about healing, not harming. Hippocrates, the founder of our profession, valued it highly that whoever conducted himself according to his principle with a devoted and consecrated heart would preserve their reputation and dignity. Since the start of the scientific revolution, the oath and variants of it have been recited at medical institutions throughout the world. Even today, the oath continues to demand that physicians maintain ethics higher than those expected of society in general. Furthermore, the oath acts as a code of professional identity that differentiates proper medicine from various alternative healing practices. Many medical schools across the country continue to administer the oath to their students in formal, public ceremonies. As a result, the Hippocratic Oath has evolved to signify a symbolic resonance for graduates who take it, as in it marks the moment when they enter a privileged profession distinguished from the rest of society. Indeed, Hippocrates has left a legacy in the form of this oath, as generations upon generations of medical practitioners have sworn to follow the oath's words. The spirit contained within the oath's lines is one familiar to all today as the guiding ideology underlining the responsible use of medicine, a pledge to protect and extend life commonly referred to Hippocratic. Numerous allusions to the Hippocratic Oath in contemporary judicial opinions indicate that it remains a significant script that defines the true essence of medical practices today. The very fact that the oath has been referred to so extensively by American courts indicates its status as a profound social symbol that generations upon generations of healthcare officials, lawmakers, and politicians have sworn to follow. During the landmark abortion rights case Roe v. Wade, the Hippocratic Oath was referred to quite extensively, with 4 entire paragraphs written about it. Justice Blackmun, the author of the majority opinion, pondered the relevance of the Hippocratic Oath and began to research abortion at the Mayo Clinic Medical Library in Minnesota. The enduring quality of the oath was not lost on the justice, and he began to regard the oath as the ethical guide of the medical profession and the apex of the development of strict ethical concepts in medicine. Using the oath as his supporting evidence, Senator Frank Lautenberg also reasoned his views on the abortion rights case.
We fought to protect people's freedoms. Freedoms! What are we doing in here? Trying to take it away, threaten doctors who perform a service perhaps called for by their oath, by the Hippocratic Oath, said save a woman or save a person if you can do it. Prevent illness or prevent accident from taking their lives away.
Thus, the Hippocratic Oath has been a leading document used by many judicials as justification concerning medical ethics, once again proving the influential legacy that Hippocrates has left behind. Among medicine's most celebrated progeny, no one has left a legacy as prolific and long-lived as Hippocrates. Hippocrates' observations, many of which hold true today, laid the groundwork for numerous modern-day medical specialties, establishing Hippocrates as a true leader in the field of medicine. As the author of at least 70 works covering almost all fields of medicine, Hippocrates has left a legacy that has enriched the minds of physicians throughout the world. Indeed, a basic knowledge of the writings of the Hippocratic collection significantly augments one's comprehension of the historical, philosophical, and moral foundations of medicine. Without a doubt, our collective memory of the Hippocratic legacy would be complemented and refined by a better individual understanding of its importance for the present and future of medicine. Through his actions as a leader in emerging fields of healthcare, Hippocrates revolutionized the practice of medicine and laid forth for the modern-day neurosurgery. Till present day, no leader other than Hippocrates has managed to inspire several generations to follow his vision, nor has any leader managed to leave behind a legacy so profound and influential.
I will maintain the utmost respect for human life.